The possibilities of where this research might lead are endless. Imagine a new treatment that kills cancer cells but leaves healthy ones untouched. Regenerative medicine that ends the agonizing wait for an organ transplant. Imagine a lightweight vest for soldiers and police officers that can stop armor-piercing bullets. Educational software that's as effective and engaging as a personal tutor. Intelligent prosthetics that can enable a wounded veteran to play the piano again. And now imagine all the workers and small business owners and consumers who would benefit from these discoveries. We can't know for certain what the future will bring. We can't guess with 100% accuracy what industries and innovations will next shape our world. I'm sure there were times when the city couldn't imagine life. Without steel mills and heavy smog that filled these streets. And when that industry shrank and so many jobs were lost. Who could have guessed that Pittsburgh would fare better than many other Rust Belt cities? And re-emerge as a center for technology and green jobs, healthcare, and education? Who would have thought that the University of Pittsburgh Medical Center's logo would one day adorn the U.S. Steel Tower? Or that this institute Carnegie Mellon would be the region's largest employer? All of this came to be because as a community, you prepared and adapted and invested. In a better future even if you weren't always sure what that future would look like. And that's what America does. That's what we've always done. The interests of the status quo will always. have the most vocal and powerful defenders at every level of government. There will always be lobbyists for the banks or the insurance industry that doesn't want more regulation. Or the corporation that would prefer to see more tax breaks instead of more investments in infrastructure or education. And let's face it, a lot of us find the prospect of change scary. Even when we know the status quo isn't working for us. But there's no natural lobby for the clean energy company that may start a few years from now. There's no natural lobby for the research that may lead to a life-saving medical breakthrough. There's no natural lobby for the student who may not be able to afford a college education. But if they got one, could end up making discoveries that would transform America and the world. It's our job as a nation to advocate on behalf of the America that we hope for. To make decisions that will benefit the next generation, even if it's not always popular. Even if we can't always see those benefits in the short term. We make decisions like this on behalf of our own children every single day. And while it's harder to do with an entire country as large and diverse as ours, it's no less important. The role of government has never been to plan every detail or dictate every outcome. At its best, government has simply knocked away barriers. To opportunity and laid the foundation for a better future. Our people, with all their drive and ingenuity, always end up building the rest. And if we can do that again, if we can continue building that foundation and making those hard decisions on behalf of The next generation, I have no doubt that we will leave our children the America that we all hope for. Thank you, everybody. God bless you. God bless the United States of America. Barack Obama. Address at the National Robotics Engineering Center. Delivered June 24, 2011, Carnegie Mellon University, Pittsburgh, PA. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you very much. Everybody, please have a seat. Thank you. Hello, Pittsburgh. It is good to be back. Thank you. Senator Casey, and Mayor Ravenstahl, County Executive Dan Honorato, State Auditor Jack Wagner. And all of you for having me back here at Carnegie Mellon. It is good to be here. And it seems like every time I'm here I learn something. So, for those of you who are thinking about Carnegie Mellon, it's a terrific place, and you guys are doing just great work. I just met with folks from some cutting-edge companies and saw some of their inventions here in your National Robotics Engineering Center. But that's not the only reason I'm here. You might not know this, but one of my responsibilities as Commander-in-Chief is to keep an eye on robots. And I'm pleased to report that the robots you manufacture here seem peaceful. At least for now. This is a city that knows something about manufacturing. For generations of Americans, it was the ticket to a middle-class life. here and across America's industrial heartland. Millions clocked in each day at foundries and on assembly lines to make things. And the stuff we made. Steel, cars, planes was the stuff that made America what it is. The jobs were good. They paid enough to own a home, to raise kids, send them to college, to retire. They were jobs that told us something more important than just how much money we made, what was in our paycheck. These jobs also told us that we were meeting our responsibilities to our family and to our neighborhoods. And building our communities, and building our country. But for better and worse, our generation has been pounded by wave after wave of profound economic change. Revolutions in technology have transformed the way we live and the way we work. Businesses and industries can relocate anywhere in the world. Anywhere that there are skilled workers, anywhere that there is an internet connection. And companies have learned to become more efficient with fewer employees. In Pittsburgh, you know this as well as anybody, steel mills that once needed 1,000 workers now do the same work with 100. And while these changes have resulted in great wealth for some Americans and have drastically increased productivity, they've also caused major disruptions for many others. Today, a high school diploma no longer guarantees you a job. Over the past 13 years, about a third of our manufacturing jobs have vanished. And meanwhile, the typical worker's wages have barely kept up with the rising costs of everything else. And all this was even before a financial crisis and recession that pounded the middle class even more. Now, we've made some tough decisions that have turned our economy in a positive direction over the past 2 years. We've created more than 2 million new jobs in the private sector over the past 15 months alone. Including almost 250,000 in manufacturing. But we still have to confront those underlying problems. They weren't caused overnight. And we won't solve them overnight. But we will solve them. And we're starting to solve them right here in Pittsburgh, and right here at Carnegie Mellon. And by the way, that's why I ran for president. Not just to get us back to where we were, I ran for president to get us to where we need to be. I have a larger vision for America, one where working families feel secure. Feel like they are moving forward and that they know that their dreams are within reach, an America where our businesses lead the world in new technologies like clean energy. Where we work together, Democrats and Republicans, to live within our means. To cut our deficit and debt, but also to invest in what our economy needs to grow: world-class education. Cutting-edge research, and building the best transportation and communication infrastructure anywhere in the world. That's what it's going to take for us to win the future. And winning the future begins with getting our economy moving right now. And that's why we're here. Carnegie Mellon is a great example of what it means to move forward. At its founding, no one would have imagined that a trade school for the sons and daughters of steel workers would one day become The region's largest, one of the region's largest employers and a global research university. And yet, innovations led by your professors and your students have created more than 300 companies and 9,000 jobs over the past 15 years. Companies like Carnegie Robotics, but more important than the ideas that you've incubated are what those ideas have become. They've become products made right here in America and, in many cases, sold all over the world. And that's in our blood. That's who we are. We are inventors, and we are makers, and we are doers. If we want a robust, growing economy, we need a robust, growing manufacturing sector. That's why we told the auto industry 2 years ago that if they were willing to adapt, we'd stand by them. Today, they're profitable, they're creating jobs, and they're repaying taxpayers ahead of schedule. That's why we've launched a partnership to retrain workers with new skills. That's why we've invested in clean energy manufacturing and new jobs building wind turbines and solar panels and advanced batteries. We have not run out of stuff to make. We've just got to reinvigorate our manufacturing sector so that it leads the world the way it always has, from paper and steel and cars to new products that we haven't even dreamed up yet. That's how we're going to strengthen existing industries, that's how we're going to spark new ones. That's how we're going to create jobs, grow the middle class, and secure our economic leadership.